Stay positive while remaining corona negative with QuarantineHub. 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 Stay positive while
Mic
remaining
on, loop
corona
back on.
negative with
7-Up. Do you guys have that in the US? 7-Up?
Stay positive while
It is from the US.
Okay, we are live.
Welcome,
Welcome everybody to Quarantine Hub, the place where we stay positive whilst remaining corona negative.
So, how are you guys?
I'm good. I'm really good. I had a nice Easter, quite relaxing. I was out and about walking. The quarantine hasn't been too bad here in Ireland. They're enforcing it a little bit. So today I was driving and there was like a roundabout where there was some police standing and I just kept driving and I thought, oh, I might see some blue lights in the back of my mirror, that they might come, but they never came. So I just kept driving. And so then I was coming back. Where did you go? Where are you from? And I said, well, I'm from here, I'm going there. And they said, okay, that's fine. And so they were all cool. And then that was yesterday. And then today I had to drive somewhere, but I just went back the different way, so I didn't have to deal with any of that. But other than that, it was a great Easter.
Yeah, that's good. So, how it's in Sierra Vista?
Well, what I got to say in Sierra Vista is that I went bike riding today, went about 11 kilometers on my bike. People thought I was crazy, but it's all right. Meow, meow. No quarantine, so I just got to do some exercise, keep myself busy. I can't sit inside and just be brainwashed by Netflix. But other than that, other things are all right here. So, yeah. I'm going to mute this microphone, though, because the wind is blowing from every direction here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
I had also some relaxations days here, and yeah, now we have here discussions in Germany if they should extend or what they are doing about the lockdown, because they've realized, okay, we cannot do it the complete time, but on the other way they have to do it, but on the other way they can't, and yeah, people are not giving too much about it. So yeah, the most people are that does comply with the rules, but there's some people. Yeah, there were protests in Berlin against the lockdown and the new laws and all that stuff, and yeah, people get ready to stand up just after 2 weeks, which is a little bit insane. But on the other side, yeah, perhaps they will yeah have a lighter way of lockdown, thinking about an alternative to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, currently it isn't too bad if you're not having a restaurant or something like that, and your business is completely fucked over. I think it's not too bad, and they are very innovative here. So many restaurants are now doing deliveries and thinking about it outside the box.
Yeah.
One restaurant here, Burger Place, they are doing collaboration with a cab company, because nobody is using the cabs right now, but they're paying the drivers, and now there's a delivery service by cab.
Nice. Yeah, that's the most important thing, that they're thinking outside of the box, because it's yeah, I'm gonna mention it. I wasn't gonna mention it. I'm gonna mention it anyway. But like, the whole point is that, myself and Joram were just chatting before we came on live, and we said, I don't know the exact figure, but like, a trillion was mentioned, for, okay, like, for instance, for, I don't know how much exactly it would take to give like $800 to every man, woman, and child on the planet right now. So every person on the planet. But someone was saying something like that recently, where they were saying, oh, a couple of trillion or whatever, right? But then they were just saying, like, the truth is that the US have printed like so much money in the past couple of, even the last 2 months, like trillions upon trillions. And like, myself and Joran were saying that, like, basically, like, no matter what happens, and I don't want to get into the negative side of it. I just want to be real and actually be truthful on this. No matter what happens, there is no coming back like that from anything like that. You can print as much as you want, but you will devalue the currency. Like, look what happened in Venezuela. Look what happened in Zimbabwe. All these places, by printing, it will basically devalue the currency.
To tune into that more, it's the U.S. It doesn't have its gold backed in. It doesn't have its currency backed in gold, and Trump has admitted that. So like, printing is. I mean, it's anyways. But yeah, like, I don't want
to. It's not so good. Okay, I think everybody understands they have to do something to to deal with the situation, but there will be a point of time where that situation is over.
Yes.
What do you do then?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And so, like, what I was saying there about, the devaluing of the currency, all that stuff, that's all well and good. But when Joram said about thinking outside the box, okay, these are great times of having an actual positive outlook. If you can remain positive and actually have a positive outlook on this, what it's going to do for you is there is a great time right now that you can get very, very rich. You can be very, very prosperous. You can be very abundant by doing what Joran just said there. Those places in Germany and different places, everybody who's innovative and actually doing these different things, they're going to make a difference, not only in the world, because now the people in their homes get to eat a nice burger, which they have probably been missing, that they couldn't get. So not only does that restaurant help that happen. They help the taxi drivers. They help the people that's sitting at home because they want to have the burger. Blah blah blah. So everybody wins. It's a win 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 win. And that's what, like, even with QuarantineHub, the reason that we set it up and what we want to do it is like get you thinking positive. Try to see the opportunity in it, and that's why we're here to help you with that as well.
Correct, but also I'd want to add that I think here the restaurants, they also started delivering after everything. Because we're not on lockdown, but the restaurants aren't open. So most of the restaurants, like I know most of you, I know Kaz, you haven't been to the US, but like TGI Fridays, all these like Arby's, all these American style restaurants that people go to for dinner, they now are, and they either delivery or only takeout. So, it can only go through the drive-thru. And then if you get to the drive-thru, they're wearing masks or they're wearing something, to stay protected as well. So they're still open, but they're not as open as they used to be, so to say. You can't go sit down and have a meal, which, even some places actually started serving alcohol to go, which is really strange for the US because it's not like in Europe where we can have open containers in the car. In the US, if you have
is it legal?
In some states, yeah, you can't be drinking it, but you can have, like, for example, if this is a beer, you can have that in the car. When if you have an empty bottle in the car, they can fine you for drinking in the car. So, they're kind of limiting that as well, which is good. So not that I'm a big, supporter of drinking, but, sometimes people still want to have a drink here and there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys got to remember, wear a mask.
Oh, yeah, I got my mask here. I'm just, like I said, I just came back from cycling 11 kilometers. I don't know what that is in miles, but
always wearing my mask.
Always wearing a mask.
So what we can do is, it's a new feature in QuarantineHub. We can show you content, browser content, and I will switch to on new browser view. Boom.
Mr. Mask jumped in there for a minute. I don't know where he came out of, but he decided he wanted to say something. So Mr. Mask came in.
Okay, I have to. Okay, where's Mr. Mask?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can. Mr. Mask.
Mr. Wolf he's sleeping right now, so I can't get Mr. Wolf out.
Mr. Wolf.
Let me see. Let's call him. Mr. Mask. Mr. Mask.
But to throw something out there for remaining positive, I've actually achieved over 500 followers on TikTok now, so that kind of keeps me positive. So meow 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 meow. My craziness,
Jay,
I'm not gonna do all the crazy TikTok dances you see people do. All this like all those crazy dances. No, I'm just gonna be myself because that's how I am. So, anyways, just wanted to add it in.
Hello, Joe Rap. Mr. Mask is here.
Mr. Mask, how are you? So
you requested Mr. Mask.
Yes, I had requested Mr. Mask. So, Mr. Mask, just tell us about how is the situation from your point of view, because we all know you are a professional with mask. You've done it before the situation. You are always wearing a mask. That's why everybody calls you Mr. Mask. So, how is the situation?
I'll tell you the situation. I was born with this mask. And I do not know anything different. I only have a mask. And when you have a mask, then you realize the importance of a mask. Because you stop the particles of dust, you stop the particles of TB or any different disease if it's properly approved. So, for instance, with the FFP2 or FFP3 mask, it stops and blocks the particles and the toxins and toxicity of the atmosphere. And so everybody during this time should wear a mask.
Yeah, it's important. Always wear them, especially outside.
Also, to cue into wearing a mask, also be cleaning your phones, people. I've seen so many people, especially here in Walmart and in the stores, wearing all of this on their phones. And then they go home and they're still on their phones. Think about it. The germs just transfer, and you're going home and you're not wearing the mask and you're not wearing whatever. You're just spreading the germs.
Yeah,
throwing
and
it out there.
Don't wear that stupid medical gloves.
Yeah, don't do that either, no.
Don't wear the medical gloves.
You're creating the perfect germ environment between your hand, your skin, and the glove. Yes. And after that, I saw people wearing them all day, everywhere, and they're spreading everything everywhere because There's no protection like with your skin, so everything will be spreaded out. And with medical personnel, they know two things. After that, they remove the gloves. They have disinfectants, just to clean their hands, and they know how to remove the gloves. But you have no idea. And the moment where you have the gloves, you're wearing them for 8 hours. Every germ, every coronavirus is on your glove, and you're removing the glove. You're spreading it everywhere on your hands, and after that into your face and into your apartment. And don't do it.
Yes, this is very dangerous. Mr. Mask once worked in healthcare settings, and Mr. Mask knows what happens in the healthcare setting when you do not, especially remove the gloves correctly, because you transmit bloodborne pathogens from A to B. And if it's not bloodborne pathogens, then you can also transmit anything from patient to patient. So, people, when you are removing your gloves, make sure that you start here at the bottom. You make sure that you roll them off into the glove, and the second one into that glove. Make sure that you put them in a bin. Make sure that you wash your hands thoroughly, in through the knuckles, the fingers, in through the middle, etc., for at least 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then wash them.
30 seconds to deal with the current virus.
Yes, and yes, as Joram said, do that, and then afterwards make sure that you also dry your hands correctly, because everyone says, "Oh, wash your hands, wash your hands." Yes, this is important, but it's in the drying is also very important.
Yeah, so you get that natural protective.
And if you have a ring like this, make sure that you remove the ring, wash, and also wash the ring. Make sure that you leave the ring to dry. When your hands are dry, place the ring back.
Don't put it into your face. Oh no, I have my ring.
Yo, but I wanted to say, you have right now you're sharing the screen of our website, or what are you sharing the screen of?
I can switch. I can switch. I want to show, because I thought we could do a little bit of some kind of news.
Okay, yeah, whatever, yeah. No, because I was just going to point out the mask we offer in our store, by the way. So if you guys don't have a mask, you can get a mask with this fancy little logo on there, We offer that.
At first, I want to show you a little bit of German protesters.
Yes.
And there's an article at Stern. So it's.
May I say
one day ago. So there was a police raid because there was an illegal protest.
Die Berliner Polizei hat am Samstag eine Demonstration aufgelöst, teilweise gegen den Widerstand der Teilnehmer.
So Berlin police just stopped the protesters.
Beschränkungen.
Wir haben nicht das Recht, auf die Straße zu gehen. Paragraph 8.
Can we see it on screen, Joram? No.
No, because the people see it in the screen. But what I can do, just that's great. We can do it. I can do a screen sharing into Zoom, so you can see that too.
Oh, thank you. So, and also, friends, please be sure, if you happen to be near a protest anywhere for some reason, we're not telling you protest, but if you happen to be there, make sure you wear a mask because it blocks the tear gas.
So now you should see the screen.
Yes, we see it.
So I'm switching back. So now we have a dedicated view on the stream, and you can see it too. So we're too many windows. Okay, there it is. So
nicht wegen Corona, aber der neueste, also der da in diesen
Menschen not so happy about the
300 bis 350 Personen auf dem Rosa-Luxemburg-Platz der Aufforderung nach Auflösung der Versammlung nach.
Sind auch wie den Gesetz darauf angemacht,
nicht im Konflikt mit dem Grundgesetz.
Yeah, so police had to close that illegal protest in Berlin. Yeah.
Were they actually separated, or were they all like gathered up together? Like, were they gathered up together with like 1.5 meters distance, or were they all like in groups?
No. They were gathering up without
the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the police
they don't register it. So it was an unregistered demonstration, and that's not legal. But what's so interesting about that? Because I don't know if you know, the 1st of May, it's a holiday, and at that holiday, all the radical lefties are going crazy in Berlin and in Hamburg. So they're on a rampage, and there are a lot of other legal protests on May 1st. And a friend of me is he's with the forces, and they are all preparing for that, and nobody knows at the moment what people will do. And with that situation here in Berlin, a day ago, 2 days ago, you get that idea that people will also do their protests on May 1st. So I don't hope that it escalates too far on May 1st.
Yeah. I also saw in that video that the police were very, very close to them too, which is not good either. So everyone was close to everyone.
Yeah. But what will you do if you are within the forces and you have that the job to do and to remove the protestants from the location, because it's illegal.
I wish I would have shared it, but there was a guy yesterday. I think he was surfing somewhere on a beach by himself, and the police actually went out to give him a ticket, and there was like 3 police officers. That I think is kind of messed up, because the guy shouldn't have been there, but he was by himself. The police officers going there are breaking the that's kind of like gray area, so to say. It's I forgot where they are. I think it was like New Zealand, someplace like that, like one of those place that has a beach and stuff. Not Germany, but
It's crazy. So what's the lockdown situation in Texas like, Johan?
I'm not in Texas, man.
Sierra Vista.
Well, I mean, I told you how it is, but we also have someone that also wants to come in the Zoom call and tell us how it is. Maybe he knows more than I do. He's been living
bring him in. Bring
that's
him in.
cool. So
let me mute my mic.
Yeah, I think he's gonna bring him in. That's cool.
Yeah.
This is
we are switching back to the big Zoom view.
Yeah, and this is important as well for anybody who's watching. So what we want to say to you guys as well is, it's I happen to be here, Joe Ram happens to be here, Jochen happens to be here, but it's not about us. It really is.
Wait a second. We have a technical issue, so I have to reattach the right Zoom window. So remove that.
Okay, I sent him the link. I told him to connect the audio if he has any issues.
We are dealing with a short technical issue. We have to.
Oh, no worries.
We have to reattach the Zoom to the stream. So boom, there it is. Just a little bit big, but
just a little bit.
Just a little.
I'm a big girl.
Yes, you RJ, you are a big girl, and it's a man's world.
For anybody who's watching as well, this is very important. This is not about this guy in the box to the left of me. This is not about the guy in the box below me. It's not about me. It's not about us. It's about everybody. So the point is that, yes, we're here. Yes, we're sharing this. Yeah, we set up QuarantineHub, but it is actually about the people. So we want as many people as we can to get on the Zoom call to talk
even
with
blobs.
them. Yeah, and just send that out there to people, and so we can use this platform to make people not feel so alone when they're at home, or because some people are literally locked in their house. They cannot go outside.
Yeah,
You know,
and there are people locked in places where they cannot move. I have loose contact. He is in Japan and he cannot get back home. There are many people in situations like that.
And we want to hear from them. Like if you're watching this and you know someone who's in Japan, go through our channel art or message us or something, and or let them know when we're going to go live again. If you turn on notifications for the stream, then you'll be notified when we go live. And at that moment, maybe message them via WhatsApp and be like, "Hey, the guys are live. Here's the stream. Here's the Zoom call, and come in." You know, tell us where you are. If you're in that room in Japan somewhere, or if you're in somewhere in Cambodia where you can't move for some reason. I'm just mentioning Cambodia as, you know, I could have mentioned anywhere in the world, but I'm just saying, like, if you're there, we want to talk to you. You know, if you're an African, you can't move out of somewhere, we want to talk to you. So we want to talk to everyone everywhere.
Because we also want to find out exactly what you're doing to like keep your mindset from being, we don't want you slipping in a negative state or depressive state. So, what are you doing to keep yourself? Are you drawing? Are you cooking? Are you picking up a new skill?
Yeah. Are you sleeping 16 or 20 hours? Are you cooking? What are you doing? Are you doing TikTok videos like we're doing from time to time, especially Jay?
Yeah. I want to say something about that as well. So for someone who suffered severely from depression and anxiety, from substance abuse and alcohol issues for many, many years myself, and then actually coming off that later on, having the depression to deal with. Joram just mentioned there that, for 16 hours a day sleeping or 18 hours a day, I used to sleep that way. I used to sleep for 16, 18 hours a day. I would wake up, I would, get up, not eat, just go back to sleep. And I would do that. And I did that for at least a year and a half, probably close to 2 years, I would say total, until I did nothing to change my mindset. Absolutely not one single thing. No, thank God that was 10 years ago, and, today I'm in a much better place. But the point I'm getting at is it's very easy to slip into, even without using substances, without using any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not against that. I'm not against that, by the way, as well. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion and do what they want. But I'm just saying, like, in the position I was in with what I did and the amount I did, I ended up that way. So, like, what I'm trying to get at is, if you're in a depressive state, like, don't stay in bed. Try and get up and, like Joram said, cooking, or Josie said, cooking. Do something to keep the mind active, because when you're in the negative, like I did a video for Beautiful Souls recently saying it's the prison of the mind, because I was chained in my own prison in my mind. And I remember walking out of my house just even 10 meters at the start, and I was like, oh my God, I was like terrified, and it took a while for me to get used to the outside world again, because I had closed the curtains, I'd stayed inside, I'd done all that stuff. And a lot of people, what I can see, even from people that I know right now, are doing the same thing during this time. And that's a dangerous position to be in, because what happens after that is, when your mind's not thinking straight, you may not be thinking straight, and you might say, oh, it's not worth it anymore. And what I would say to you in that situation, pick up the phone and ring someone, because we don't want those things happening. And so that's why we're here, to keep you positive.
Yeah, and if there's nobody you can ring, because perhaps you don't have a large scale of social contacts, or you think you can't ring anybody, just call us. Get into a Zoom call, message us on Instagram, whatever.
Yes.
So let's connect. So it's no hassle for us.
It's not. It's so important. It's so important to be able to have that outlet.
To tune into what Kaz is saying, basically, I don't know if a lot of you, I'm not going to go into my whole history and stuff like that, but I'm currently here. I don't usually live here in Arizona. I'm currently stuck here in Arizona. My girlfriend is in the Netherlands. My cats are in the Netherlands, and I can't fly back, I'm keeping myself positive. So, you have to keep yourself positive. You have to do something. I do meditation, I do breathing, I do visualization, I do chanting. I do that all the time. Now I started doing cycling, exercise. Just keep that activity going. Don't just sit around. Like, I know I keep emphasizing Netflix and Hulu, but that's what most people do here. They come home, they get brainwashed into Netflix or Hulu, which is all controlled by who. So don't get away from it. Make your own movies. Do your own creations. Yeah. I mean, I love creating my own movies. Why am I going to watch somebody else's movie, somebody else's depressing movie, if I can create my own adventure? Bam. That's all what I want to say. I'm not going to go into my whole history. If you guys want to know my history, private me, and I'll send you my links and stuff like that. So
perhaps
I don't know
where our buddies at. The next time we add some credits to our frame so people can check out Beverly on Pass, the Josie Show, the Real Joe Ram, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's so important, and like Jochen said there, like it's easy for me to say right now. I'm in Ireland. The restrictions, like I said at the start of this, are not crazy. Okay, to level, which is okay, but I can still get outside. Some people, like we were saying, can't. And so, in the case of what Jochen's saying there about doing the exercise, there's really no excuse. I mean, if I was locked in my room, I have about 1 million different exercises I could be doing. I could be doing burpees, jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever. Like, boxing, whatever. Like, you do not need like weights or anything like that. And like, if you're watching Netflix and you're sitting at home and you're in a depressive state, then just go on YouTube and like Google exercises at home. It's not too hard. So,
yeah,
like,
what you can also do before you start watching Netflix and Disney Plus and just being on that content consummation for 18 hours a day, watch some stuff on YouTube, learn something new, book an online training. There are free trainings from universities. There are paid trainings. I know that there are different trainings on every topic. If you're interested in, I don't know, marketing, there are marketing courses. If you're interested in painting, there are digital painting courses. There's a training and course for everything, and they are not so expensive. So if you want to use the time and you're not feeling to be too active, learn something new.
I agree 100%. I think you should do that, what Joram just said, because there are so many, like, I remember like years and years ago when I didn't know anything about anything, and I was in actually a job that I hated and actually was in healthcare and more along the sides of mental health when I got out of my own.
Okay, we have somebody. Ash is wanting to join the meeting, so
yeah. Is that Josie's contact? Is it Josie's contact?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy I've met since I've been here for like 2 months now. So his name's John.
Ash is connecting to the audio signal server.
Yo.
He's also here in Sierra Vista, not too far. And Sierra Vista isn't too big, so he's probably like, I can probably run to him real quick.
Okay.
But,
hi, Ash. Okay, Ash. Audio active. So, welcome, Ash, to QuarantineHub.
Welcome, Ash.
Hello. What's up, John?
Thank you. Not much. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, aren't we?
We're doing
good. Oh, yeah.
Good. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you
guys.
Where were you? You're tuning in from Sierra Vista.
Yeah. I'm joining in from Sierra Vista.
Windy Sierra Vista, yeah. It's so windy here.
It's so windy, man.
The wind is killer.
The wind it's crazy.
So
how are you dealing with? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that was my question. Speak up.
How am I dealing with the virus? I'm an essential employee. So I'm cannon fodder. So I stock up fries late at night, so I don't have to worry about contacting people other than my coworkers. But I've been bunkering down and just sticking in place. It's just, this stuff has just gotten way out of hand. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of stupid people out there that think, oh, I'm young, I can go out party. No, you can't.
Yeah, there were illegal protesters here in Germany yesterday, around 300 to 400 people protesting without standing 2 meters from each other. And that resulted into a police raid where 180 to 200 officers were needed to deal with the situation. So in that moment, they were put in danger to get infection.
Yeah.
They cannot deal with real criminals just because people are stupid.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I just saw a deal yesterday that Michigan just put a law in place that they're going to fine people $1,000 for not abiding by that 2-meter distance.
That's hefty.
And in the background of the mayor or governor of Michigan signing this bill into place, everyone standing behind her was all right next to each other, not even abiding by that law they're enacting. So.
Yeah, but $1,000, it's hard. Here in Germany,
Yeah,
we are finding between 200 up to 500 euros currently, but
God.
that's also insane for doing nothing.
That is insane.
Actually, my girlfriend's from Poland, and the same thing. There was someone who went out for like a cycle away from everyone else. They got fined like, I think it was like 5,000 zloty, which is the equivalent of €1,000 or like, whatever. But the same thing, basically, just fined on the spot, like straight away,
Damn, man.
It's crazy.
It is. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, I've been watching. I was watching TV today, and one of the commercials is for some hospital up there in New York City asking for help because they're the main epicenter of the virus here in the U.S. And I'm like, that is just ridiculous. You're nowhere hit hard. The only reason you're hit harder is because you've got so many people packed in such a tight spot.
Yeah.
There's like, I mean, you get the common flu goes around New York City, or even the common cold goes around New York City like the plague. So that's what's mainly going to be happening.
I heard a strange one as well. Not sure how true this one is or not, but where they take like a regular patient or whatever that gets admitted, the hospital gets paid, let's say 12,000 or 13,000. I don't know exactly, but then if they label it coronavirus, the next thing it is, up to like 39,000 or something. And I thought I was like, whoa. And so that got me thinking, and I don't want to get into too much negative stuff, but it got me thinking like, okay, if that is happening, of course, humans, and probably you're going to have some people that are doing that to get the extra money, which is kind of messed up too, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is messed up. I mean, you got, what was it? The mayor of New York City was labeling deaths that weren't even coronavirus deaths as coronavirus deaths if the person had coronavirus. Which is just stupid. They died of heart failure.
That's because they have like a certain code system here in the U.S. that like if that's like it takes like 14 days for the test to be like tested, and if the person dies of like say a heart attack, they don't even say heart attack anymore. They just say, coronavirus, COVID-19, and it's not even they can't test for it.
It's the same with the RKI data here in Germany. So everybody who is infected, he is, and he dies, and most people are dying on old age. Our rate is between 70 years and older from the people who are dying. Yeah, they are dying with coronavirus and influenza and that because they are always ill. They are old people, and old people are going to die. It's a fact of life.
Yeah.
And if there's a coronavirus spreading, for sure they have coronavirus.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many people saying that this ain't bad, and then all of a sudden they're saying it's bad, and then they try to blame, like here in the U.S., they're trying to blame the president. Well, the president had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's
a shame. But I think one of the things that we can take away from this is that we did not learn from history, because the same thing happened in 1917 with the Spanish flu, the Spanish influenza.
Yeah. I'm watching all of our heads on the screen doing this at the same time, because we know that like.
But what's positive about the current situation? We don't have the mortality rate of the Spanish flu.
Yeah, we don't have that mortality rate. That was stupid high. It killed people in 7 days?
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
We also have better technology and medical advances way back when. So I mean, but still we're out of supplies because
what's
who knows
most important? We have the internet. We have fast communication. Yeah, it should have been contained in the early beginning in December, but the Chinese government doesn't do it. They weren't fast
Yeah.
enough, or they weren't willing because of face. And I watched an interesting video yesterday about that from Serpent ZA. He is an ex-Chinese vlogger from South Africa. He lived in China for many years, and he did a really interesting video about now you're all thinking and believing that the Chinese government is has dealt with the situation. Now the Chinese government is helping everybody and putting out supplies to the States and to Europe. They are not. It's just
Yeah.
about face and how the world will think of China and what their image. They haven't contained anything, and
Yeah.
he did
Yeah. I
some
think.
interesting things because 2 months ago or 2.5 months ago, the Chinese bought masks all over the world and stocked up, and now they're gifting those masks back to us just to get something good on their image, on their track.
Yeah,
record.
and no telling what they did to those masks in the meantime.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying conspiracy theory stuff. I'm saying real world logic. If you have, say, all the masks in the world, and you no longer need them, who's to say that they didn't contaminate a few boxes and then send them out?
Could easily happen.
Yeah, it could easily happen. I mean, especially I'm not a real political person myself. I try to stay out of politics, but at the same time, you know, we all got to pay attention to it because that enables. It's a trickle down effect. What happens higher up eventually goes all the way down, and I'm one of the few people that are praying that Pelosi gets this virus because she's so fucking retarded. But at the same time, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Now, what a lot of these news coverage people aren't touching on is the homeless community. And as a former homeless person, I just recently got off the streets this past December.
Well done.
Thank you. But what really scares me is the fact that there are a lot of elderly homeless people, and there are homeless people that travel this country on bicycle that can catch this virus, and no one's going to know about
bicycles.
it. Yes, they do. They bike across the country and go from state to state to state, and they make this circuitous route. Yep, meow meow. They make this circuitous route.
Are these people also digital nomads?
Yeah. No, a lot of them stay off the grid.
Okay.
They're like.
There's a difference though with speaking with the homeless thing. You know, in London, they actually took all the homeless people off the street and put them in hotels. Here, I mean, I've only been here for 2 months. I see homeless people sitting at like Walmart outside on the streets. I see homeless people walking. You see a lot of homeless people here, for real. Like it's like
exactly.
In Europe, it's not like that. I don't know how it is in Ireland, Kaz. I don't know. I know Germany. I know Germany has changed since I've lived there, but it wasn't like you don't see homeless people everywhere. Like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, when I was in Jacksonville, for example, there was a road in Jacksonville that my brother took me down where literally there was like a line of tents and a line of people living in tents. I would have right now would want to go there and see how that's going. I'm pretty sure those people are still in the tents. You know, like nobody cares about that.
Exactly.
You know?
There's actually a fantastic because I was going to mention charities, and so I'll mention the other one first, but because I run a charity called Beautiful Souls with a guy called Chris Rice in Kentucky, but one of the most fantastic charities that I've seen in relation to homelessness is Invisible People, and I don't know if you know that one, Ray. Is it Ray? Is your name?
John.
Oh, John. Sorry, John.
John. Yeah, I go by Ash, but just like I haven't heard about that one. I've heard about it, but I didn't have any contact with them.
Yeah,
because of my homeless situation.
Yeah, he's really good. Like he basically goes around, and he was homeless himself as well before, but he goes around and he tells the story and he helps him get off the streets. It's really fantastic.
Well, speaking of staying positive and stuff like that, John actually, when I met up with John, like he started talking about making a YouTube channel, stuff like that. He actually has a YouTube channel now about how he survived being homeless here in Sierra Vista, like different
I've got like
life
5 videos. 6.
Yeah, like Yeah, so I've been helping him with that because that keeps him going, and he's I got to give him credit, man. He's keeping up with it, staying positive. Kind of what our saying is,
Yep.
So
And what a lot of people especially don't realize is like here where I'm at in Sierra Vista, the homeless people here have an addiction problem. I was one of them. I was addicted to methamphetamines, and that right there compromises your immune system because either you're shooting it up or you're smoking it. And if you're smoking it, that's going into your lungs. It's compromising your lungs. And trust me, it's been I've been clean and sober for going on 5 months now, and my main saving grace is I had a 15 years of sobriety before that, before I fell off the wagon. So I'm using that to fall on. And one group that helped me out here, it was called the Warrior Healing Center, which I'm going to take Johan to. And it's a veteran-run place that has no government oversight. It's all done off of donations. This guy named Tim Kirk, he runs the place. It's his brainchild, actually. Him, his wife, a guy named Eddie Weathers and Beth Weathers, they're also work there too, and they literally have helped me out more than any other homeless organization has in the past. And I stayed at Good Samaritan down there in Corpus Christi. There was a shelter. It was really cool, awesome. They help you out, but this place has helped me out way more than any other place has. I stayed at a place in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they only gave me like 3 months to stay there before they kicked me back out.
That's a hard one as well, because when they only give you 3 months, like it's hard for you to get in those 3 months. It's like, okay, I've got 3 months and they kick you out. It's hard, man.
Especially if you're trying to get a job, especially if you just moved there.
Yeah.
You know nobody. Like at that time, I only had my ex-girlfriend at the time, and it was just too hard. I had to come back here to get a job, and when I was going to come back there, our relationship had already broken up because of people I was living with, and that's just the whole situation. That was a shitstorm. But I've seen like the shelter here in this town. It's small, and every day when I would go in there, when I stayed there for like a week, it felt like I was checking in, not just psych ward, but checking myself into jail, because they took my electronics, they took any weapons I had on me at that time. I literally had to be in there by myself, and they checked you for drugs. And while I was staying there, somebody OD'd on heroin in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you can't win for losing, especially when you're going to a shelter, because either you're going to be surrounded by alcoholics or you're going to be surrounded by drug users. And for
that's why you started what you're doing, and that's why, like I told you, that's why I support it, because I mean, like, there's so many people out there that just that just need a kick, as auf Deutsch gesagt, a kick in the ass, a nice kick in the ass. I don't know why I say Deutsch gesagt, who the hell knows? But so like so that's what's keeping you positive. I got a job,
Exactly.
Things are working out. So it's again what we preach here, and kind of like keeping that positive mindset, thinking of something to do, and then the universe will eventually like just start bringing stuff to you, and you'll be like, what's going on? Like, so that's exactly what
I totally did not expect to get this job.
Yeah.
It like literally landed on my lap, and I couldn't say no.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but I want to commend you for it, because I was never homeless, but I mean, I was close to being homeless at one stage where I had no money left for food, because I used to spend everything on alcohol and drugs, basically many, many years ago. And so, right now I'm over 10 years, like I haven't touched anything, so it's been a long time. But I mean, I can relate, maybe not to the homelessness part of it, but I mean, I can relate to not having money, spending everything on alcohol, basically, looking at one stage, literally like a few times, not at one stage, a few times, literally having just nothing left and having to get food somewhere, but being literally short on the rent. And Josie doesn't really know this story. Joran probably doesn't know it either, but I don't really talk about it often. It's just the fact that you're mentioning that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
And so I want to commend you. I'm very grateful. You know, it didn't happen to me that way, but I think it's awesome, man, what you're doing, and I'm definitely going to subscribe to your channel too. So
thank you. It's Texas Vagabond.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I'll send you his link.
Yeah,
I'll send you his link.
I don't have it on my. I got my new phone. I got my new phone, so I got to get everything back from my old phone into this one. So it's a hassle, but eventually.
I'll subscribe.
Yeah, I've got like 13 subscribers now. I mean, I was even expecting having 10 by now at the most, but having 13 is a shocker. But I've seen so much, and being from the homeless side, and everyone looks at me and they're like, "Oh, you were homeless. You never really succeeded at anything in life." I was a apprentice electrician. I was making inflated due to inflation. I was probably making about $1,500 a week. So I mean, I know both sides of the spectrum, making damn good money and making nothing at all. But seeing this thing come out, like this whole COVID, COVID, whatever you want to call it, I call it the beer virus. But it hits everybody. It's indiscriminate. It doesn't care who you are, what your social standings are. But at the same time, if you look at it, as sadly as I can say it, most of the time, it's going to be your homeless people. They're going to have a better immunity system because they're out there in this kind of stuff every day. And even if they are using, I mean, like when I started to wean myself off of my DOC, drug of choice, was when I had shot up one time and I guess I missed the vein and got blood clot on the outside of the vein, was turned into an abscess. And if I didn't go to the hospital right then, I would have had to have my arm amputated.
That's crazy,
and
man.
That was a scary thought.
That's crazy. And like right now, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Like to stay positive and stuff like that during this time. What like? Do you have any daily ritual or routine for anyone watching?
My daily routine is I get up. Since I got my new phone, first thing I do is I jump onto my games, do my daily thing. Like after I get off of here, I'm gonna hop onto PUBG. I play first-person shooters, so the last 10 matches of PUBG I played, I did single player instead of the duo or the squad. I always did single player, and I'm focusing on that because every time I do that, I always end up in first place in every match, either that or the top 10, and that just goes to show me that I'm still good. I can still play games like I like. And the only thing it does is it makes me aggravated that I had a team that was going to the first national matchups for Doom when they released it on the PS4.
Oh, yeah.
We got the invite to nationals the day the teams dissolved. We were the first of 16 teams that got invited to nationals.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Joe Ram's a big gamer too. He likes games as well.
Yeah, big gamer and collector, and have just finished Doom 2016 last year. It took me it took me 4 years almost because I never have time to game.
Yeah, and see that's the thing with me when I was working before everything happened with me and me becoming homeless. I had a nice gaming computer. I had everything that I wanted, and I was playing World of Warcraft every day before work, after work. But at the time, yeah.
But now you have something. Now you have something else to do too. So now you have your YouTube channel. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm
just
doing
trying
that
to
too.
cue that in there.
Oh yeah, and every day, like my last video, I actually went out there walking around the desert showing people where not to camp. It was like a 2.0 of where I would set up a camp, and I actually stumbled across a camp, and I actually knew the people that actually had that camp just by the clothing that was around there. I knew who it was. So that's even in the video. but doing this YouTube thing, it's actually made me feel a hell of a lot better about myself too.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear, though. That's good to hear. You know, I'm actually headed out to go get some shisha from the hookah place. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, keep talking though, everyone.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, y'all can even swing by and pick me up too.
Well, as you know, everything is closed here, so we can't really go. We're just going to get tobacco and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
At least.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, the town that we're in right now, I jokingly say rolls up the carpet even before this thing even happened. Rolled up the carpet at 9 o'clock. Like, I think there's like 5 bars in this town, and all of them are not worth a damn except for one.
Just a small town world, living in a lonely world.
Yeah, going back to the 80s.
Oh God, when music made sense. Oh, I'm out of juice. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm
there. Kaz, you still there?
My hat.
Everybody disappeared. Kaz, you're on. Where you gotta go?
I think so.
No,
Kaz,
I'm still here.
muted.
I'm still here, man. I just had to. I was getting my. You probably can't see it there, but I was getting my phone just to be able to check in on the. Oh, I think Kurilla is in the house.
Greetings.
Hi, Kurilla. 1 second. Let me check if I can find Mr. Mask.
Mr. Mask? Who's Mr. Mask? Who's that guy? Somebody new.
What is up, Kurilla?
Oh, you know, it's always the same. Being quarantined, it's like that zoo. That bad zoo. Oh, Mr. Mask!
Greetings.
Yeah, I had a discussion with a big gorilla in the sky. Because, you know, gorillas, we have Easter.
I think, Kurilla, I think you need to tell us some people about some of our merchandise. I think it's about time.
Merchandise, yeah.
Yeah.
As you say, down below, there is a merchandise link, and it goes to QuarantineHub shop. And just give me a second so we can have a look at that shop. And that time we cannot use that screen splitting feature because.
Can we do screen sharing or no?
Yeah, we can try if we can screen share. Perhaps we have to reattach Zoom after that, but let's figure it out if Kurilla can do it. So, and then screen sharing, and Corona time is important. There it is.
If I had shaved, then this thing would be Velcro to my face.
Screen share, boom, and
we had some trolls who I took care of them.
Okay.
Stupid trolls.
Yeah, they're just like, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But
we have the problem in the
there's
moment.
These trolls though. I see the screen though now.
Yeah, in the moment where we use the screen sharing feature, we lose that second Zoom window, so that's not so great. But let me reattach it just to. And after that we can so yeah, this is a shop. It's QuarantineHub.shop, and we have some nice merch. We have that QuarantineHub collection, and yeah, we have what do we have? We have that great neck gaiter. We have a snapback. We have a hoodie, we have sweatpants, a tank top, We have a really premium polo shirt and also QuarantineHub official T-shirt. It's all top-notch quality, and what do we have else? Let me go back to the.
Hey John, if you want, when you touch the screen, you can mute your microphone while you're not talking, so it doesn't pick up the winded stuff.
Also a collection for
Should be able to find
women, with a snapback and a hoodie and a woman's T-shirt. And
I definitely want to get. I want to get myself one of them shirts.
Yeah, I've already ordered the gator and the snapback for me.
Because on the back of the shirt it says it has our slogan, staying positive while remaining corona negative. So that's on the back of the shirt.
I think we have it on the most things. So let's have a look at that hoodie.
Yeah, and on everything you should need.
Staying positive while remaining corona negative.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. We have put a lot of work into it and creating that collection. We have the cup, and what we have especially for our Irish friends, we have that social distancing Ireland edition. So can you tell us about something about that social distancing collection?
I can tell you. So social distancing collection. I'm just looking at that. So basically, the yellow T-shirt here we have for social distancing is, in Ireland, it became a very, very big thing very, very quickly, which was, keep the distance of 2 meters. You see it on every single, television here, every single news station. You see it on the ground. You see it at the cinemas, outside the cinemas, because obviously the cinemas aren't open and stuff yet. But it's everywhere, so that's why we decided to do the, that one in particular.
And I think we did a special one at the merch.
I'm gonna have to get the coffee mug.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brainwashing. Yeah, it's brainwashing. Keep a safe distance.
And we also have the QuarantineHub.
Yeah, and I've ordered one of these. I hope they will be shipped within the next few days, and I will present them in the live stream.
Yeah. So basically, it's we're trying to get every country, really, as many as we can get, so that people from every country can, get what they want.
So if there are some special posters or ads or whatever in your location, please send them to us so we can adapt them, and you get your own social distancing collection. And I saw something, I think, from San Francisco, and one set from Seattle, and also from Sweden. And Sweden is a special place because until yesterday they had a very own policy on dealing with the virus. So there's no lockdown in Sweden, and they've just taken care about infected people, but now I think it was the prime minister. He was like, "Oh well, we didn't do it so good. We have to change the policy, and they will spread the country with something like that the HSE did in Ireland."
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what they did. They just put up, for the yellow thing, it's everywhere. And so that's why we thought, well, people in Ireland might like to, have a T-shirt of it or something, because basically there's so much.
I mean, well, here, what's hilarious about this whole social distancing thing is, like, say, where I work at is a Friday's grocery store. At the checkout aisles, they've got literally tape on the ground. They measured out 6 feet, put another piece of tape down, and you have to stand at that piece of tape.
Yeah.
And this is like at Circle K's. I've noticed even here at one shop that I pass by every day, and it's a gun shop. They literally have the door open, and they have one person sitting there at like a fake counter, and you have to go up there and sit there and talk with the person, tell them what you want, and then they go grab it and then they bring it back to you.
Yeah.
So it's like some places are only open like that, and it's what's gonna hurt the economy the most is the small businesses.
It is. A lot of places are going to get wiped out. I mean, people don't. I was saying this earlier on before you came on, John. Like, there's so many people. Like, they've already printed so much. Like, there's only so much you can print before it goes into hyperinflation, and so a lot of places are gonna. I feel bad for the businesses that are going to get wrecked. Because they will, and I really feel bad for them because I'm like, man, there was no in my opinion, the restrictions. Okay, I do understand. Maybe you have to do some restrictions, but I do personally, my opinion, I think maybe it's a little over the top because did they ever think that, okay, or maybe they did, I don't know, we could go the opposite way if we say conspiracy theories or whatever, maybe they did do it on purpose or maybe they didn't, but I'm not getting into that in this video because I don't want it to be shadow banned or anything like that, but basically the point is, either way, whatever way it happened, it's not a good situation, especially when this finishes or when it subsides. It's going to be it's never going to go back to what we knew. Never. It is impossible.
It never will.
To go back. No.
I mean, for people that say that it is, I mean, just look at 9/11. When 9/11 happened, that changed everything around the world, for security, for airports, everything like that. It all changed overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and people are going to say this is the new norm. It's a temporary norm. It's not a new norm. It's just temporary.
Yeah.
But I've seen it's just outstanding. I mean, one of the people that's going to get hard the most, as sad as it's going to say, are the even get drugs, which is a good thing. I mean, it may make people think, well, maybe I don't need this shit. You never know. But I think there is going to be a surge in the economy once everything does open back up.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because not only are they printing, not only is there a lot of people doing very innovative things. There's going to be a lot of things that change, but maybe a lot of good things will be born out of it as well. So.
Yeah, and I think so. There will be good things born out.
I was just on my.
So, for an example, here in Germany, we don't have a great home office culture. So everybody has to come to an office and work there, and
and one thing I did notice
people are changing that now, and I've heard the news yesterday. So now webcams are out of stock because companies they're buying webcams for the people. So there's that one cam from Logitech, and it's normally around 60 euros. It's now over 100 or 120 euros per unit.
Yeah.
Because they're buying, or big companies are buying webcams for all of their employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the people that I know here that I'm basically rooming with, because they basically got us in a barrack situation. Because I'm housed with two other veterans. One of them works at a call center, and basically they're sending him home, some of their employees home with their work equipment so they can work from home. That way they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Which is really ridiculous.
It is.
I think this is also going to reinforce the healthcare system too.
And a lot of what people, I don't know if people are watching this or not, but I watched an interview with a guy 2 days ago, an onion farmer. So he has an onion business, and because the transport cannot be gotten for those onions, because it can't be, there's like the break in the supply chain or whatever, this guy is like dumping like thousands upon thousands, probably millions of onions into like big, massive he like they just dug big, huge holes and dumped all the onions into. So like he can't get them anywhere. And then when I was looking at the food stocks, and not getting into too much negative stuff, but bringing the truth at the same time, like they're just going like zip. So they're heading down. So there is a concern there as well with that, because it's kind of, that's negative, but I mean, it's a messed up situation. Like,
I mean, it's like here in the U.S., they're giving shout outs to all the nurses, the doctors, firefighters, EMS, all those people. What they're not talking about is the truck drivers that are going around delivering all the goods that everyone's buying, and these guys should be getting the biggest shout out of them all because they're still keeping this country running, or whatever country they're working in running. And it's just like, come on, guys. These are the guys bringing us our food, our clothing, everything on a daily basis, and they get no recognition. Even right now, they're not getting any recognition. And they're going at this headstrong and taking it where it leads them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing with all the nurses and stuff, like I mean, I agree they're doing the work, but if you go on TikTok, you see a lot of nurses and doctors on TikTok. Like I don't know, like if I'm working in a hospital worried about coronavirus, I wouldn't have the time to make, especially some of these TikTok dances. I can't do some of these dances. How do they have time to learn these dances? Do these dances in the hospital? Kind of just random thought out there.
Yeah, I mean, if they got the time to dance, they got time to treat people. Ugh.
Oh, well.
Just going live here in a second on Instagram as well to try and bring people over and see if we can get anyone else in. I'm just going to mute my microphone for a second.
Do it. Yeah, and
okay.
Yeah, within that situation, many laws are changing, and what I've saw 2 days ago was a nurse, and she was like, in the last days and weeks we were all like, nurses and caretakers are now corona heroes, la 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 la, and but number one, where's our money, and number two, why is there a new law where we are forced to work for 12 hours? So what's about being a corona hero if you have to work for 12 hours? Because there is a new corona related law that forces them to do it.
I was gonna say something else while you were talking about that, but it just popped out of my head. I don't know. Something related to that.
Joe Ram, could you send me the link for the Zoom? Can you send it over to my Instagram, Travel Your Own Path? Just because I want to put it in the...
I send it to your Instagram, man.
Thanks.
Just wait a second. Instagram. You've got the
In all honesty, though, Kaz, if you don't get people to come like in the next 10-15 minutes, I say we like kind of like cut it short, because you don't want to have too much of us just saying nothing for minutes and minutes. Nobody's gonna watch that long. So just not saying we should put a limit on anything, but at the same time, you don't want to have like dead air, so to say. So
no, that's not so good. I agree on that. But currently,
I mean, we can always schedule another one, and then if they reply back, even if they reply back within 20 minutes, be like, okay, well, the next one will be just like we did with John. He was trying to show last time, didn't really work out. today. We planned it out. Boom chakalaka. There you go. That's how you get
So
it.
Cass tries to show something.
What is he doing again?
I don't know.
I was trying to bring some people over from Instagram, but the problem is that on my Instagram they're not active at all. So when I had a very active Facebook group, I probably would have had like 15 members in here straight away. But
That's
I
the
don't.
problem of having
you know.
1 million channels.
Yeah, 1 million channels.
Yeah, I mean, I've got. Don't talk about Facebook bans. I've got the infinity gauntlet of Facebook bans.
Oh no, so does Cass. Trust me. He doesn't have Facebook. He has Facebook for 10 minutes and it's down within 5 minutes.
Boom.
And the worst part is I don't know why. I didn't do anything. It's not that I've done anything bad.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do anything. No.
Nothing.
It's just an algorithm.
It wasn't me. It was Mr. Mask.
Blame it on Mr. Mask. Yeah.
Mr. Mask. No, we had. I had the 24-hour, 2-day, week, 14-day, 30-day, 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 all back to back to back.
But just been blocked for that time.
Oh,
period.
I got banned on my main account that many times, and on top of that, my last one that actually got me, well, not the last one that got me banned because Facebook preemptively banned me for something that I was about to do. Then the post before that one actually got every single, like, the like, the heart, the laugh, the angry face, the crying face, all in one post. So I effectively got the infinity gauntlet of Facebook.
Man, that's crazy.
It is. Although it's got with Facebook's regulations, it's gotten people to be creative. I know somebody that's got like 15 different accounts because one of them, all of them are on a rotational ban.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's kind
don't
of hilarious,
understand
though.
that. I have my Facebook account for many years. I think since 2007 or 8, and I've never got banned.
Oh, I've had mine since 2009, and in 2018, when I got all those bans, it was like literally in a 5 months.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The
within
same thing.
5 months, I got
The
all
same
back.
thing. Same thing happened to me because I was never banned like ever. And what happened to me was I was running an ad for a charity that I run called Beautiful Souls, and at the ad, like it had a massive reach or whatever. They banned the ad, and so what I said to them was that oh, that's a pity. I appealed it. Then they reinstated the ad, which basically took the momentum out of it. So that wasn't the point. But then 2 days later, I logged in. I'd probably been only banned twice ever before that, like for very, very short spaces of time. But there was a friend of mine, she was in Bali, and she asked me to log into her account, which I did. And 2 days later, I lost the account and I haven't got it back since. So I tried to log into her account, but from my computer, which I was logged into my own account on. So maybe it had something to do with that, which I also told them.
Yeah.
And I sent them my passport, I sent them everything. And since that time, I haven't been able to access it. I don't know why.
Well, it's like with my, because the account I'm using right now for my Google account for my Android is a new account that I just set up. I cannot log into my old account, and I was going rounds with Google, calling them on the phone to get access to my Gmail account because I didn't have the same phone number and I couldn't disassociate it from my account without logging into my account, which I couldn't log into my account without having that phone number or even the phone that I did have, which got stolen.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
And they don't have Gmail. They don't have Gmail support over the phone anymore.
I think we are coming here to general, so I would say we don't have something on topic to say. I would say we call it a day, and we have the next stream within the next few days.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool, no problem.
So we can chat for infinity, but we need to stay on topic and attract other people and spread positive things about the situation.
I always stay positive. I mean, especially from coming from a homeless situation to where I'm at now, you gotta stay positive.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't laugh at something at least once a day, there's something wrong.
It's true. It's true. All right, guys. So yeah, let's meet up again. Let's chat again. And it's been awesome to meet you, John, as well. And
nice to meet you guys.
All right, remember, stay positive while remaining corona negative. All right, guys.
Okay, have a great day and
yeah, have a good one.
Have a good one. Over and out.
Peace out.
Quarantine. Stay positive while remaining with QuarantineHub. Stay positive while remaining corona negative with QuarantineHub. Stay positive while remaining corona negative.